Goodness.
Oops. Sorry guys, I'm glad I got the good case. I've got this set up kind of cattywampus. Hey Sophus. Hey everybody. I haven't worked on axes in a while, so I've got up my stone punches and I'm working on the narrow faces of this Belize, tough Belize flint axe with those stone punches for the narrow sides, and sometimes the stone punches for this face also, but only when I've got a rolled area or a stubborn area that I need to. It takes a lot of energy to get the flakes off of a rounded or slick surface coming back on the broad face. So I'm just learning as I go here, but I'm liking the stone punch for controlling the back angle to keep from rolling. I get the really hard chert pebbles, and I can do the keep going because I'm not very good at the antler punching on these narrow faces. So I'm not really good at antler punching or stone punching on any of this stuff, but I'm finding the stone to be easier for me. And I've noticed looking at old collections that there's some on some of the thicker typed axes, they're intentionally hammering, cone scarring the middle of these faces and then coming back what I think are low angle hammerstone blows so that they're not rolling, so they can just work into that fracture. And also I think there's signs that they're using some little stone punches on these. It's when antlers get pointy and want to wrap and carry through, it's sort of tricky to do these things without copper, and I don't use copper, so let me see if I can't demonstrate really quick. Like, here's a tricky area here. It's pretty flat. I'm almost done. I probably should have more pronounced, larger flakes so that I hadn't taken down these deltas. I should have left it more like this. But I've got some problem areas. So let's see if I can't get in and do a couple punch flakes here. Like, get the point of like this, or this is just Merrimack gravel I picked up. And I do like using this. I've sort of battered all of the points off this, but I like this limestone better. But this is actually better as it gets narrower because it's harder. So let's see if I can't get in here and do maybe a little one, and then come back and then sort of show how this goes without getting in the way. The stone striker, it feels good. I can't imagine hitting this with wood or bone. The feel of it, just pop even materials, seems to do pretty well. So let's maybe try to get back here. We'll find a little point on our, can you guys see this? Try to find a little point down in here. Squeeze with the knees. I like this technique here. It's important to get the clean spot in there. Sometimes I back off it, even give it a little, it's not resting right on there. Sometimes it is, and sometimes it's not. Look at my contact, and there you go. Sometimes it takes a couple little goes. Let me turn it around to sort of try to skip off. I do a bunch of good flakes, and I turn the camera on, and let me try this one. I'm seeing little cones. Sometimes you cone it up, and then the flakes come off easier. That was a walnut. I like this one better, actually. No, I don't, because it's got a little flake on it. Yeah, I do. It'll come off, trust me. Actually, don't trust me. It's a technique I'll be able to keep to myself because it looks so futile, which I like. Just fine by me. Golly. Moses, there we go. Okay. That was not completely advantageous because it did wrap. But the good news, we're close to being finished there. So, do a little braiding. Try to make some napping look easy. It's because I do a lot of it. And this is like kind of, it's fun because I have no idea what I'm freaking doing. Well, very little, but it's just fun. So that one, maybe let's try to do just a couple little, you know, we just need a little one here. There we go. That one wraps too. Maybe try to get a little one here. I do have to kind of close my eyes. See that one? How scoopy nice. So that's a deep scoopy. That is hard to do with antler. A deep scoopy. And we don't want these rollies, but we're actually getting kind of straight, so it doesn't matter. And I can nitpick and maybe let's do a little bit punching. I always get sort of square on both ends. Like I thought, well, if it came down to it, and this is, look at how patinated that blaze is. Like this was just sitting out in the rock pile. I'm tempted to polish this thing up and give a good looking patina on it just to make it look gold and maybe grind it up. That'd be kind of cool. Even though it's bleeze flint, so I mean this is obviously bleeze flint and not people who know flint. In other words, I'm not saying that because I want to do something criminal with it. It would just kind of look cool if it all looked like that. So where was I? Oh yeah, I get these things square on the ends. Sophists can sit there and punch around on these things and have something like this done really quick, but I get kind of square on the ends, and then I sometimes leave my bits a little too clunky. So maybe we're going to need to keep this square first before we punch this down. Is that what we should do? I guess get a little stone punch one there. Kind of punching up on the ends is kind of tricky. Get the point down there and get my little thing here. This is the wrong one, ain't it? Yep. Oh, this one isn't very good either. I need to get some new pebbles. See those little bitty puncheroonies? There we go. Now that's square there. Now, if we thin it up, we might use that to come back this way. See? I did that right, didn't I, Selfish? Kind of plan ahead on this things is geometrically, these are not like doing bifacially flake points. These are like, you got to turn your brain in the other direction, kind of. Anyhow, but still need to do a couple more. There's no danger if you're not very good at doing some kind of flint knapping to do it anyhow. Because like I'm slowing down and I'm trying to think through things a little differently, so maybe it could actually help somebody. Since I'm sort of a greenhorn at this. So I want to stay rounded, maybe do a little punch work. Am I reaching over that? My arm is probably in the way, sorry about that. I'm definitely closing my eyes when I do this. Anyhow, you probably can't see that. I'll turn this off and then I'll finish up and maybe put a picture of it on Instagrammed. That's a neat color. Hopefully this turns out. All right.